Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. I started receiving comments begging me to go to the Trump arraignment in Miami, so I did a live stream to see if I could raise enough money. Guys, we just succeeded. $600. In total, we raised over $2,000. Now it was time to fly to Miami. You guys should see all the looks. They're like, who is this in American flag boxers? I guess I better introduce myself. My name is Bartholomew, aka Florida Man, and I'm here to tell you that Florida is the bestest country on the planet. America is the greatest planet in the nation, and I am here to support Trump. Yeah! Those documents that the prosecutor showed an image of are deepfakes. Are we here to support grabbing women by the just like Trump?
No, you got to be realistic, and you were young one time. You said things one time. He speaks like us. If you don't like the way he speaks, that's one thing. But look at his results. I'm not. You asked me a derogatory thing about grabbing.
Do you want to grab me by the?
No. If you were ever lived a normal, young, happy American life, you talk like that.
There you have it.
Is it perfect?
You don't have a happy life if you don't grab women by the.
No, see, if you're watching this, you know what I mean, and you know what he's trying to do. He's a fake, phony fraud.
This guy and I are here to support grabbing women by the just like Daddy Trump.
Now, I'm going to give you a fair warning.
Get the fuck away.
All right? I'm going to give you a fair warning.
What's my fair warning?
I'm warning you because you just followed me here. So if you keep harassing me, you're going to be responsible for the result. You're a piece of garbage in a nice costume.
That's not nice.
You're like a piece of shit with toilet paper.
Say you're sorry right now.
And you're
say you're sorry right now.
You might want to put your dick away.
But why are you looking at my dick?
Hey.
Because you can't help it, dude. You got your dick swinging out.
Hey, you're the best guy I met today because you're such an ass. Just watch this and put your comments below.
This guy wants you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes, he does.
Hey, this is a perfect example. Yeah, you of course it don't matter. This is an example of low life. Yeah, this is the mental illness we're dealing with. I'm telling you right now, don't follow.
We're friends.
Yeah, we're friends.
Hey, Manny.
We're together.
Which way? I don't know
where are we going?
This guy's harassing me, and I'm telling you right now, I'm doing a lot more than I should right now. He's harassing.
Where are we going next? We're friends.
This guy's a mole. Now, copy this.
We're friends. This guy and I are best friends.
He approached me.
We're friends.
In this attire. Now listen.
We're together.
In this attire. So right away you think Trump supporter? No.
That's what they do. They infiltrate.
He's asking me,
and they
how do you feel about grabbing a woman's private parts?
Can't even come out.
I said, how do you feel about grabbing women by the like Daddy Trump does?
Trump is our
And
president.
I said,
support him, and we're not going to let them.
You said you haven't had happy life.
Now, why are you talking for me? Why are you talking?
Because that's what you said.
I feel bad for you. I really do. There's something wrong with you.
God bless grabbing woman by the pussy.
All right, that's
like
enough.
Daddy
He got
Trump.
way too much info.
We're marching. This guy and I are best friends. We're off to the Trump arraignment we go.
In a minute, you're going to be with about 1,000 real MAGA supporters, and you're going to have Trump.
Yeah, I'll introduce you. Yeah, I'll introduce you.
Okay.
Rah,
Awesome.
retard. Take a video of me and this guy.
Yeah, we're together, me and this guy right here. We support grabbing women by the...
Let me do a quick video. Just hit red.
Okay. We'll make him go viral.
What do you want to do? Do you want to hug? Do you want to hold hands?
Hey, Manny.
Do you want to hold hands?
Rah, retard is dressed like a Trump supporter.
Me and this guy are best friends. We're together, officer.
No, we're not. Okay.
Just let you know.
Over here, is that good?
He's following us. He's a mole. He's anti-Trump.
I support Trump. We're here to grab women by the just like Daddy Trump does.
God bless the blue.
All right.
God bless the blue. Except on January 6th. Are you here for Daddy Trump too?
Oh, he's not a Trump
Anti-Trumper,
supporter?
yes.
Why would I dress like this if I wasn't a Trump supporter?
That's what the moles do.
Come support grabbing woman by the with us just like Daddy Trump does.
I thought you were serious at first, you piece of shit. What a piece of shit.
Do you need a hug or something?
If you touch me, all bets are off.
I just wanted a hug.
You want a lot of things you can't have, my friend.
Well, you've been staring at my ego the whole time, so.
And is that against the law?
No.
Okay, then leave me alone. You got such a nice piece of equipment that you can never use because you're a piece of art.
Why your underwear though, bro? I need to know. I got to ask.
Because you don't support Trump. If you don't have your American flag underwear on.
Listen, if you touch one of us, you're gonna get what you want. How's that sound? Oh, that don't bother me.
Why are you being so mean to me today, Daddy?
Because you're fucking. Watch out!
Get off of him!
Come on! Watch out! Easy! What do you think?
This asshole pushed me.
You okay? You want some water?
No, I'm good. Hey, bud. We're together.
Oh, he's a good. Oh, yeah? I could see it in the eyes. Yours are similar. No. If he,
We're best
you're
friends.
with my enemy.
We're best friends.
If you're a constitutionalist, and I am,
Right.
what's wrong with challenging the government?
Spell constitutionalist.
Brother, I'm
Spell constitutionalist. You can't. Bye-bye. You can't spell it.
That's what fascists do. That's what they always do to you.
Guys, let's get back to the topic.
Hold on, I'm
Daddy,
speaking.
we're interrupting people doing news interviews to interview them.
No, go ahead.
I want to interview you.
Oh, no, I'm interviewing with this guy.
But I want to interview with you.
Can you give me a minute?
No.
Okay. Look at his underwear, man. He's American.
This guy seems obsessed with my underwear.
I am obsessed with your underwear. Ma, tell him I am obsessed with his underwear. I would wear those. I could care less.
Grab him by the...
Or the penis, whatever they have, right? So,
Whoa. I don't want you to grab me by the penis, sir.
They believe, those two women right there believe that a man in a dress should go into a school and frolic his penis in front of a 15-year-old child.
Do you like my boxers?
Or I love them. Well, this is a farce, and I'll tell you why. Because
Tell me what you like about them.
Okay, ready? The president is allowed to hold classified documents in his possession. Did you know that?
It's a deep fake.
What is?
The document. Let's get back to the interview.
What about Tim Diamond? What are your feelings?
But what do you like about my boxers?
The American eagle on your penis.
Okay, we're gonna walk away.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, man. Good job.
You did a remarkable job.
You too, man.
Thank you.
I love that fucking bald eagle, man.
Thank you.
I really do, man.
It's kind of getting creepy, though.
I'm going to tell you something. The closer you get to me, the more I want to take you out for a drink in those underwear.
Do you support grabbing women by the like Daddy Trump does?
Right. Of course.
Why not? You support Trump, don't you?
That's not what this is about.
But you support Trump, don't you? No. You don't support Trump?
freedom.
I agree.
But you don't support Trump?
Trump's just a man. I'm not gonna have this fight with you.
But grabbing women by the is awesome.
You know what? I don't know what you said in your back room when you were drunk. I don't know what I said, but that's not on the table right
They
now.
just don't want me to be president.
I'm not here to talk about my sexuality. Those people are. If you're here to talk about your sexuality, go talk to them.
They get mad at a
But I want to talk to you.
If you want to talk to me, then let's focus on what we're here for today.
Okay. Do you like my American flag boxers?
I think your American flag, if that's what you want to wear, is all right.
You love my eagle, don't you?
Because the president is allowed to.
This guy wants to grab women by the
Hey, don't talk like that around me anymore.
This
I
guy
don't
is.
appreciate it.
Yeah, he's been saying it every 10 seconds.
I don't think
man.
it's nice. I've tried to stay away from you, but please.
But that's what Daddy Trump
Please do
says.
not come with me anymore.
That's
This
what
is my personal space.
That's what
and
Daddy
I'm
Trump
asking you,
said.
See what
If
my
you
hands say?
support-
My hands say Lunlight.
If you
Stop
support-
talking about that. This is about politics.
Okay.
This is not about what you're talking about.
Okay.
If you want to talk about that, there's a group of people over there that nobody's paying attention to.
I want to talk about it
Go
over
talk
here.
about it over there. Police! Get this man out of my way! Police!
Police. I'm going to file a complaint too. Where are we going? Police.
Dude, I'm gonna dock you out in a minute.
That's why are you being so mean to
I've asked this guy
me?
to stand down. I've asked him to stay away from me. He wants to talk about sexual things. I don't.
We just want to grab women by the pussy
police
like Daddy Trump does.
Stand away from me. I've asked him to stay away from me.
We're just here to support
I don't
grabbing
care who
women
you're
by the pussy,
support.
just
I don't
like
want to
Daddy
deal
Trump
with you
does.
with no oxygen. Your fire can't
We're
burn.
here to
Go someplace else. This is about justice.
We're here to
This is not
support
about
grabbing women by
sexuality.
the just like Daddy Trump does. Who wants to support grabbing women by the just like Daddy Trump does?
Would you guys do me a favor and block this guy away from me? Just stand in front of him so he can't get through.
Nobody listens. Daddy Trump. Daddy Trump. Daddy Trump.
This is what's wrong with America. Everybody put your camera on it. I've asked this man
Put
to
your
stay
camera
away
on
from
me.
With
This-
no oxygen, his fire can't burn.
I'm
trying
literally
to get away from him.
what's
This is
wrong
what
with
he does to this guy.
America. That's mean. You take that back. You take that back right now.
Make me, asshole.
That's-
Make me.
that's
Make me when
mean.
your stupid ass get up.
That's
Your stupid
mean.
ass get up. Stop the shit.
No, he isn't. Hey, buddy.
This man, I've asked him to come away from me several times.
Brian, you there?
In my personal defense, if this man gets in my face one more time, it is on camera.
Camera.
What are you talking about?
There's a camera behind you.
confused.
You're in the camera.
What?
You're in the camera.
I'm with this guy.
But you're on the camera. You're blocking his view. He's saying
We're together. This guy and I are together.
Come on, man. Come on.
I've asked several
Talk to me here. I'll
This
give you
man is
some
being
video.
offensive.
What?
Give me some video. Come
Get
on.
this
No,
man
I'm
away
good.
from me.
I think he's.
I'm with this
Police
guy.
will not stand up for me. This is what's wrong with this country.
Yeah, I'm literally what's
I've asked
wrong
him
with this
several times.
country.
I've walked in front of the police. Everybody's video.
What does he want with you?
He wants to be obnoxious. He wants to talk about what Trump wanted to grab. I don't want to talk
Trump
about
wants to grab women by the
Your daddy grabbed your mama's. That's how you're here today. You know that's how that works, right?
He's not too
confused. What's
right.
going
He just
on?
fell down a minute
You know that's
ago.
how that works. Your mommy.
What?
Your mommy.
For the love
grabbed
of God,
yours.
what's going on?
Your mommy grabbed your daddy's, and your daddy grabbed your mommy's. That's how you're here today. You do realize that's how it works.
What? This guy right here and I. Welcome, guys, to the live stream today. I just had myself muted. And I would like to thank you guys for joining the live stream and being here. So this live stream will last about an hour, and I want to thank you, first of all, for all the donations that made it possible to go to Miami. If you guys don't know, that was the video from Miami. I can play more later after the live stream at the end. But that was only about half of it. And this live stream today is because I want to do July 4th, Independence Day, big, and I need your help to do that. I am, for this troll, I am going to, wouldn't you like to know? Unfortunately, I can't tell you guys because that would give a heads up, and I don't want anybody to know that I'm coming. But if you like the last video, this troll is going to be even bigger. And I want to donations are already coming in, and I just want to acknowledge that. Thank you guys so much for your donations. And so here is, let me just give you guys a rundown. Of the costs and just how much I'm looking for, where to donate, and what your money, what your donations, what you will receive for your donations. And you can donate by going to paypal.me /professional douche, or you can go to the Cash App. My username is Professional Douche. And I'm going to leave this on the screen, but I would like to introduce to you Lackluster, who's here to help me raise money for this. Hi, Lackluster. How are you?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. And, I want to thank you too for your donation for the last video, as well as
course.
I can't tell you how many comments I've received saying, Lackluster sent me here on my videos. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for covering, some of my videos and sending people over my way.
Yeah, absolutely. When I first saw you, I think the first video was the one where, you were doing something, and it was more of a free speech issue, what it turned out to be, but you were originally protesting eminent domain, and not a lot of people know about that. And I think it's a real important issue. And I thought that was awesome. And that interaction was wild. So I appreciate everything that you do for whatever you do it for, whether it's for us or just for the shits and giggles. Either way, it's awesome.
One thing is clear, that I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, and I appreciate that. So, that was when I first really started uploading to YouTube. The arrest was crazy, because even at the end, when I was when all the charges were dismissed, they destroyed my sign. The judge ordered that my sign be destroyed.
So ridiculous.
And it's funny how the government just thinks it can do whatever it wants.
Yeah, I mean, because that was kind of an eminent domain issue in itself, them destroying your sign.
I'm sure many of you guys know what eminent domain is, but in case you don't, it's part of the Fifth Amendment. Eminent domain gives the government the power to steal your property if it goes for a public use. And not long ago, in the case of Kelo versus New London, the Supreme Court even said that the eminent domain, that property can be seized and given to a private, a private person, as long as it still goes for a public use. And the whole idea in that case was that this was people's property was taken in New London, and they sued over that. And I think it was Pfizer, some pharmaceutical company like that, promised the town that a lot of revenue would be gained by this, taxpayer dollars from the use of the property, and it would revitalize New London. Well, today, first of all, the Supreme Court ruled in the 90s in that case that private property could be taken and given to a private company as long as it still went for a public use. Mm-hmm. And as we sit here today, the properties, nothing's been done with them. The pharmaceutical company that originally promised them New London, the world, backed out, and these properties are vacant today.
Yeah, it's wild. Very similar thing happened in Los Angeles too. Not a lot of people know about it, but just for building out LAX, as it expanded, they bought out all the surrounding area and essentially forced people out of their homes and paid them for it, but still forced them out, paid them for it against their will. And even now, a lot of those apartment complexes remain vacant. There's a lot of homelessness in that area, and it's not a fun place to be. It's a good impression of Los Angeles when you
Right.
get there, though.
Hmm. And so the case that my case that you were talking about was a a Stanford resident who had lived in their home for 42 years.
Mm-hmm.
The Stanford government wanted to enact eminent domain on them, simply to widen the roads. And I went there with a sign saying, "Fuck your property." And then attributed that quote to the town of Stamford, the city of Stamford, and they didn't like that too much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
they
didn't like it
arrested
at
me
all.
for breach of peace and interfering because I wouldn't give them my ID.
Yeah. And was your friend arrested too?
My friend was detained, I think, for Mike Friend. If you're on here, comments how long you were detained for, but I think it was like an hour, maybe something like that, maybe 40 minutes. Don't quote me but yeah, he was detained. His cell phone was seized, and he was just filming. He wasn't, holding up any sign or anything.
Yeah.
And I love his line from that he was telling the officers, or the officers were telling him that you guys have a right to do this, but you have to watch out what you say. And he was saying you just arrested, you just put a guy in a cage for a word.
Yeah. I don't think they get it,
So,
but that's obvious. So
well, I think the issue is that they probably get it, but they know that they will be protected at the end of the day.
yeah. Yeah, you're
Because
probably right.
even if you get past qualified immunity, they're still indemnified, meaning that
Yeah.
the city pays for them.
City's
They
still
don't pay out of their own pocket.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but I still don't know of a case where the cop is paid out even when qualified immunity has been defeated. But
Right.
it's what it is.
Are there any? There are like qualified immunity is a stain on society.
Uh-huh.
Are there any cases that you've come across lately what's the worst case you've come across?
That they granted qualified immunity?
Just in general, I guess.
Oof, I don't know. It's kind of throwing me on the spot. But one of the examples I use a lot for qualified immunity and to remind people about how ridiculous it is one that came out of Fresno. I don't recall the actual name of the case, but essentially there was a warrant served, and during a search of a residence, can't remember if it was a police department or sheriff's office, doesn't matter, law enforcement officers stole, I think it was $200,000 worth of rare coins that were not listed on the warrant, and they were not booked into evidence, and they were granted qualified immunity because it wasn't clearly established that you weren't allowed to steal during the execution of a search warrant. That's pretty fun.
Qualified immunity is one of those things that are really hard to beat because there's no you're rarely going to come across the same two fact patterns.
Yeah.
And judges, in case you guys don't know, in order to beat qualified immunity, you have to show in court that a similar situation has happened, and there's some sort of case law or law that shows that putting that officer on notice that that conduct of his was wrong. And you're not going to find, you're really not going to find a lot of cases where the fact pattern is, materially the same. And if there is, you get judges that nitpick on small little things that if a judge wants to find qualified immunity, they'll find a way to grant qualified immunity.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've noticed too. Is it really has to do a lot with who the judges are, and that's obviously has to do with what appellate court you're up against. Because you see some wild ones that are like so obvious that it should be revoked, and they let it through, and then you see other ones like gosh, I always mess up his name. Abad Irizarry. They got qualified immunity, and I'm glad he did, but just because the cop shined a flashlight in the camera, which is outstanding, and that's fairly recent still, so it's not like affecting a whole ton of cases yet. But I imagine and hope that it will. But that it seems like in any other court they would have granted it and kicked that thing out in summary judgment or something. But the case proceeds.
And I just recently read an article that I'm going to share on the screen, that an auditor in Connecticut, you know about my Connecticut State Police case, don't you?
Maybe. Remind me.
So this was back in 2015 when I was holding up a cops ahead sign in about 2 football fields away from a checkpoint.
Yeah.
My sign said cops ahead, and then it says, remain silent or something like that. And I at the same time I was openly carrying a gun, which was legal in Connecticut at the time. And they detained me and charged me with reckless use of the highway by a pedestrian, which I wasn't even on the highway.
Yeah.
And secondly, they charged me with creating a public disturbance. But what's really interesting about that case is that, they told me it was illegal for me to record them. And then they seized my camera, but they left the camera recording as they were talking about how what I was doing is legal. And but that they need to find something, that they need to cover their ass, is what they said.
Jeez.
So anyways, I just came across this article yesterday, or the day before. Well, let me just share it on the screen. So there's a high likelihood that hundreds of Connecticut State Police troopers falsified thousands of traffic tickets. The auditor says, and this isn't a First Amendment auditor either. What they mean by auditor here is like a state auditor, someone hired to investigate, claims having to do with the state. And so,
what's interesting is things like this happen so frequently, and I was never really as aware of it as I probably should have been until I kind of fell into this thing I'm doing now, and now people send me. I'm just too many emails to read, but there's so many articles, and these things happen on an almost daily basis across country. And I think it's just like Chicago shootings, you don't every weekend 20 kids get shot basically. But it's just so normal now that nobody hears about it. It's not news anymore, so they don't report on it. It's the same thing with these law enforcement agencies. There's so much corruption widespread seeping through these agencies that just nobody reports it. Nobody listens. It's weird.
And so the report says there are probably around 25,000 tickets that the state police issued that may come under scrutiny because of this.
Wow.
Yeah. So
and like, what do you even do about that? Like, nothing.
Yeah, I emailed my friend at the ACLU of Connecticut yesterday, and he says like this puts all of their arrests into question because if they're caught doing this once,
on the simple stuff,
done it again.
Yeah,
exactly. Like this isn't groundbreaking. These are just tickets, motor vehicle tickets. So, in case you're just joining us, I'm here with Lackluster, and we're here raising money for my trip that's starting tomorrow. I can't tell you when and where or who, but if you've seen my last video, you know that this video is going to be good. So please feel free to donate if you can. If you can't, thank you so much for your support, and really any amount helps.
So I know you're not revealing like the location, when you're going, all that kind of stuff. Is there anything else you're gonna mention about it?
I will mention that it will be even better than the last video. This is going to dwarf the last video. It's going to is that how it's said? I think so. Anyways, it's going to be, this one's going to be monumental. It's going to create it's going to create a lot of havoc there. And I personally, I can't wait. I'm leaving tomorrow, driving starting at around 4 or 5 a.m. And I'll be there on Friday night, and then sometime this weekend I will be trolling. But you will not want to miss the next video, because it's going to be great. It'll cause a spectacle.
And when do you think we could expect for it to be published?
My goal is to have it published.
You don't have to say if it reveals too much or something, but
no, not at all. I expect it to be published a week from Sunday.
Awesome.
So not this coming weekend, but next weekend. What are things you've been covering lately?
Well, fairly recently, it's a lot of like just more nuisance stuff. I'm kind of in a growth phase. I've been building out this area behind me for the past month or two, and so that's been taking a lot of my time. So I haven't had a lot of gusto to get the real like deep research in that some of the bigger videos deserve, and I've got a lot of them sitting on the back burner at the moment because of that. But the plan is to start a live show. There's a ton of videos that YouTube just will not let me post with any sort of traction whatsoever. If they determine that it's too violent, or if there's too much foul language or whatever, they will kill it and not show it to anybody. So so that's why I've never really shown a lot of the police shootings that think are unjust, some of the brutal assaults, and just a lot of the violent content, really. And so the solution to that, I think, is going to be a live show at least once a week, and just kind of go over some of the things that I can't go over or just don't have time to go over in a normal episode, because it's gotten to the point where some of these things take 2 to 3 days just to research, and then there's production time and upload and all that kind of stuff. So so that's what I've been focusing on. So a lot of the more recent ones have been not huge. I got a good one that's been sitting in review for like 7 days, but it's like an old one from like 2013 that everybody, I guarantee, like everybody in chat's seen it, but probably has no idea what happened afterwards. And it's kind of a really interesting story about all the different levels of bullshit and stuff that went on afterwards. So yeah, other than
Have
that,
you ever received any threats for anything you've done by like police departments or government agents?
I've got not so much from actual official departments. I've got the it's got one district attorney letter there, but yeah, I receive quite a bit. Most of it is idle threat. The most I get from any official agency is like privacy complaints, and those are pretty easy to get over. You know, it's usually because I like left an email address on screen or something like that, so you just bleep that out. And you can do that actually on YouTube because they have their little editing thing, so that's pretty easy to overcome. But but no, like, hey, we're gonna charge you or anything. And there have been actually a couple of cases where I messed up totally. And it's like the Columbus Police Department, and there's like 40 Columbus Police Departments out there. So, you know, I accidentally put the patch of the wrong Columbus Police Department, and then their PIO, their public information officer, is reaching out to me like, hey, that's not us, and we're getting a bunch of phone calls because of your video, and you know, that'll make you pucker up. But so far, no legal consequences outside of some civil.
What about
stuff?
Any lawsuits?
Yeah, there was one lawsuit from the very beginning.
Of lawsuits?
No, I was sued. And
oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah, for defamation back in 2019, I think. But yeah, but that was fine too. You know, like, I don't know. I know it kind of comes with the territory, so it's whatever. I think the most threats I get are realistically from Facebook for some reason. Like people leave me alone. Well, for the most part, I think YouTube censors out any real threats just automatically with their own crazy AI thing that they got going on. But Facebook has that has a thing where if you're following my page, you can actually send me a direct message, and I stopped reading any of the direct messages on Facebook well over a year ago. But at the time, I think I might even have a folder of them still, but I was receiving like 2 to 3 death threats a day, literally a day, off of Facebook. But
those are fun.
But it was just Facebook. That was the weird thing. It's like, so I imagine it just has something to do with the platform's censorship programs. But yeah, they are pretty fun.
So I've had a lot of threats and threats of lawsuits. So, you know, for instance, I've actually had a lawsuit filed against me seeking $100,000 in damages.
Jeez,
because because I released a video of a congressional candidate in a public space, basically being an idiot and taking my sign and ripping it up and throwing it in the trash. And she said she sued me because I ruined her campaign, is what she said. She was running at the time in 2020 against Ayanna Pressley out of Boston area.
So what ended up happening with that?
That ended up getting thrown out immediately. You know, and she tried getting a harassment order against me, but you can't, like, you know, you can't, you know, free speech isn't harassment, you know?
Yeah.
And plus she was in a public space. I had just as much a right to be there as she did.
Man.
And I remember, I don't know, did you see the pig costume video?
Yeah, from the parade. I think it was a parade, right?
So
like a Back the Blue rally. It was
a
or
Back
something.
the Blue rally. Yeah. So I one lady said that I was offending her so much that she was going to find where I was and sue me. And I wish to God she had, because I would have just made for great content.
Like for what? You know, it's like so
for offending her, obviously, because offending someone is obviously a tort.
It's the greatest of crimes,
especially in this day and age,
and in America of all places. We need safe spaces these days.
Yeah, it's funny because whenever they, you know, Republicans are big on, like, you know, making fun of people with safe spaces and everything like that. And then when they go to a rally, they close themselves off, and it's essentially operates like a safe space.
Yeah.
So they have their own safe spaces too.
Yeah. It's all fun.
What's your favorite video that you've seen of mine?
I would say probably the other one that I covered, the I deep throat the whole boot, even though it was a small rally. But some of the other ones, the pig one at the Back the Blue rally was great as well. But I'm telling you guys, I know a little bit of the scoop about what's happening in the next video, and it's wild. It's wild. It is definitely going to be
it's going to be a spectacle, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm kind of afraid for you, man. I'm telling you guys, like, this is gonna be nuts.
It will be nuts. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so I've got a lot of filming coming up over the next week and stuff, and I have some other special things planned for the video too that I'm not gonna disclose, but you know it's gonna be good. And the reason I don't want to disclose it is because I don't want to give the people who I'm trolling a heads up. You know, it was fine at the Trump arraignment in Miami to disclose it because no one can stop me from coming there. But this will be more closed off. You know, there will be more security there. So it'll be easy for them to keep me out if they have a heads up.
Yeah. So I can't ask that question. Yeah,
I just want to thank you guys for donating. Really appreciate all your love and support.
Yeah, what's the goal for this one?
As far as raising money?
Yeah.
Around $600 is what I'm looking at, and Right now we're about halfway there.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Have you ever had security with you? Or like had a need to hire security?
I've had people offer security to me, but I just don't think it has gotten to that point yet. I mean, sure, people have elbowed me, poked me in the eye, almost impaled me with a flagpole, a jagged flagpole, I might add.
Yeah.
But here's the thing too about it. I don't really feel the need to become to defend myself unless my life is genuinely in danger.
Mm-hmm.
People elbowing me just isn't, what I would qualify as being in danger,
No, and realistically, those like simple assaults like that kind of add to the video anyway. So
They do. And also, I want to add one more thing. So people have been commenting on my last video why I didn't defend myself against that guy. And the thing is, I if anything like that ever happens, I try to de-escalate a situation, not escalate it. And by becoming physical with the guy, that will escalate things, and it'll get more people involved.
yeah,
it won't
and
just be
they
me
won't
and
be on
him
your
anymore.
side too. None of them will come to
Exactly.
your aid. So
Exactly. So that's kind of why I measure very carefully when I need to defend myself and when I don't.
yeah.
And I kind of examine. So, I don't know if you know this, but I went on January 6th to Washington, D.C., to the Capitol.
I did not know that.
Yes. And I had all these plans to troll the protesters, but I didn't. I just stood back and observed and recorded.
It just
And the
seemed
reason for that,
different.
what?
I said, did it just kind of seem different?
It really seemed different. It's, the tensions were very high. So I knew that if I had, trolled people, let me give you an example. So, one example is that, when I was there, they were the protesters were literally taking cameras from the news people, throwing it into a pile, and trying to light it on fire unsuccessfully, but they still tried to light it on fire. And so if I had gone in and trolled, things probably wouldn't have worked out well for me.
Yeah, probably not. Huh.
In case you guys, go ahead. Sorry.
No worries. I was going to ask. I know a lot of your trolls are kind of aimed at the right, and I would say there's equally as ridiculous people on both sides of the aisle. Do you ever do you ever plan to do some trolls against the left as well?
I am so glad you asked that question because I was going to bring it up. So a lot of people in the comments have been saying that I don't do the left as much as I do the right. But that's for the simple reason that the left doesn't hold as many rallies as the right does. It's sort of like the right is a more cultish, in my opinion. They hold. So I pride myself in being an equal opportunity troll, but there has to be an opportunity in order for me to do that. And Joe Biden just hasn't. President Biden just hasn't held any public rallies. He held a rally in Philadelphia within the last 2 weekends, but it was a private union rally that I found out about the last minute and I couldn't get into.
Yeah.
But besides that, it was a private rally, so even with enough time, there were Secret Service there, and I don't know how I would have been able to get in. So I absolutely love, and I have trolled the left in the past, including in gun rallies. So one gun rally that comes to mind is that Senators Blumenthal and Murphy from Connecticut were holding a press conference, a gun press conference in New Haven. And I went to that rally and hid my signs until the press conference started, so that they wouldn't be able to, so that they wouldn't be and so that they would be none the wiser about my signs. And once the press conference started, before the press conference started, one of the event organizers asked me to stand right behind the podium to fill in that spot, so it looked like more people were there than there were. And so I happily obliged and stood right behind the podium where Senators Blumenthal and Murphy spoke. And right during the middle of their press conference, I took out a sign that said, "We support pineapple pizza," just making their rally look like an absolute joke. And the media couldn't get Senators Blumenthal and Murphy on camera without getting my sign in the frame too.
That's awesome.
And that was so much fun to do. Let's see, another. You'd be surprised at how many people get mad at pineapple pizza. It's just like.
Well, I certainly hate it.
I don't think we could be friends anymore.
That's all right. Yeah. I do remember now though what my all-time favorite is of yours. It was the vegan, the little circle of vegans, and you brought, I think it was Burger King or something.
Yeah, I brought a Wendy's burger, cheeseburger. And the thing about it is, normally I would consider that punching down. But the thing where I like, the thing that crosses the line for me is when they try to get the state involved, the government involved to enforce their views on other people.
Yeah.
So, that was the whole idea behind the rally, the vegan rally. Also, I can remember another rally where it was like a woman's rights event or something like that. And I brought my "We Support Pineapple Pizza" sign to that. People got livid. And they were like, "You're here with a pineapple pizza sign while we're
at a serious
advocating
event."
for." Exactly. And I was like, "What? Pineapple pizza's for women too." And so yeah, those are just a few of the. I've also trolled a Bernie Sanders rally. That was fun.
Nice.
I went to the excuse me. I went to the rally with a sign saying, "We want free shit."
Hell yeah.
And they got mad at me and said I was making them look bad, but we're all here for free shit.
It's basically what it is. I see a lot of people asking.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I see a lot of people asking in chat like where the videos are. I know I had a hard time finding a lot of them, but if I recall, it's been a year or two since I've really like binge watched like your discography, but I found most of them over on Facebook. He has a page over there is where I found them.
Yeah, I think those are on Facebook. I don't know why I didn't upload them to YouTube, but if you go to my Facebook, just search my name, you'll be able to find those videos there. And to come back around to your question, yes, I absolutely do troll the left, but that's all dependent on there being a rally to troll.
Yeah, and I'm sure similar to like how CNN loves having a Republican Republican government, and Fox loves having a left-wing government. It probably all kind of depends on who's in power as far as who the ire of your wrath is aimed at.
Yeah, exactly. So, I find that when Republicans are in office, there's a lot more left-leaning rallies, and vice versa. So, again, thank you guys for your donations and your love and support. Even if you can't donate, it means the world to me that you guys support me. And we're here with Lackluster.
Do you ever?
And go ahead.
I was going to ask if you ever read through these super chats. I haven't been able to pay attention, but I know there's some questions in them.
I do. The problem is that these comments are coming in so fast, and I need someone. That's my next goal too. When I do these live streams, to have a moderator where they can sift through the comments, and I can just focus on the live stream itself.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this streaming platform, but yeah.
Matt R wants you to read this.
Hey, Matt. That was very pleasurable for me. Thank you. Am I a serious right winger? Am I a right winger? I have some
what would
right-wing
you?
views. I don't know. I have some views that line with the right. I have some, I don't know, that probably line with the left, but no. I don't.
You guys have any other questions? Feel free to comment. I'm currently looking through the comments right now.
How's my health? Some skin issues. Yeah. I have skin cancer. It's basal cell, which is like the good skin cancer. At the moment, we're good. And I also have ulcerative colitis, which is a lot of fun, but that's been in remission for several years, so that's good. I am sorry. Specifically to who and for what? Fill in the blank, I guess. Let's see. Somebody asked about Travis Hines, about a $15 parking ticket. Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty wild. Right? Yeah, and it got voided within a couple hours. That guy was such a prick. Did you see that, Michael?
No, what?
The Travis Hines ticket. Are you familiar with Travis Hines?
No, I didn't. I've heard of him. I haven't really watched his stuff.
Yeah, he seems like a good dude.
So in answer to Shiva, no, I did not see Walter Masterson in Miami. There were a lot of people there, so probably more reporters than there were Trump supporters. But in case you didn't know, during the whole Miami thing, I was standing right behind the MSNBC camera. So everybody watching at MSNBC that day saw me and posted me on the internet. It was hilarious.
How do you keep for laughing?
I'm gonna have a ton of fun this weekend. This weekend's gonna be a blast, and I think you guys will enjoy it too. In answer to the question how I stop myself from laughing, it's a skill that's developed. You know, it's sometimes I break character because some of the things that people say are genuinely funny, and it's you know, sometimes it's hard for me to keep it together. It takes every fiber of my being to do so. But you know, I know after the rally that I'll have the last laugh. So um, let's see.
Yeah, and especially with some of these people's reactions, I don't know how you keep a straight face.
It's genuinely hard sometimes because, you know, like I'm the kind of person that, you know, wants to laugh. So, you know, it takes every fiber of my being. It takes a lot of self-control
Yeah.
to do.
Troll the Pope. That'd be a fun one.
I don't think the Pope's taking any visitors.
Mm-mm.
Let me know some of your questions, guys. I'm just going to wrap this up in a few minutes because I have an early morning tomorrow. So to answer this question, I'm leaving tomorrow at 4 or 5 a.m. So it's an early morning. Looking forward to waking up that early.
Location undisclosed.
Exactly. Thank you guys again so much for your donations. Yes, that's DeSantis, or as I call him, D Snowflake, is one person I really want to troll a lot. Unfortunately, it didn't work out the last time. So when you're trolling public figures like this, you know, often what goes behind it is a lot of planning because they have like security up the gazoo. And it's hard to get into these rallies because everyone wants to go see them. And so you have to find out about it early and then get tickets in advance. And sometimes so many people come that you don't even make it in the door, you know?
Yeah, I tried to go to one rally once in like Colorado Springs just to see what they were like, and didn't even get to the gate. It was so packed. And I think I got there like 4 hours earlier or something too. It was nuts. But there was a Carrabba's, so we went to Carrabba's.
I'm not seeing. Hold on.
Well, biggest positive event or change I've seen as a result of videos. I don't know. I think like last year, I think well I know some of the financial aspect is great. We've been able to raise money for some people's cases through GoFundMe mostly. So it's mostly you guys raising the money realistically, but to push people's cases, whether they have to fight a criminal charge or to actually fund a lawsuit. And some of the firings, those are all like really fun and they probably feel the best. But realistically, I think the biggest change realistically is just the amount of growth that this type of movement or philosophy, I don't even know what you'd call it at this point, but just how much it's grown over the years. It used to be like in the cop watch, or at least in the auditing like genre, there were some pretty big channels, but you pretty much knew all of them if you were watching. And now there are so many that, like today, I think I saw a new channel that I've never seen before, and I clicked on it, went and looked, and it's, oh, this guy's been doing this for 6 months. You know, I've never even heard of this guy, and he's got tons of videos, and he's got an established presence on YouTube and in his municipality where he's conducting his audits. But that you didn't really see that 4 or 5 years ago, so it's good.
So I just want to let everyone know that we raised the goal of $628 and exceeded it. So thank you guys so much for your love and support. Lackluster, if you want to say anything, I'll be right back. I just want to go get something because I saw a comment.
Righto. Lackluster is a leech on the auditing community. Tell me when the last audit video I've done is, please. I don't even remember when the last audit video I've hosted was. I do love Aaron Green. He's a good troll too. And he trolls both sides.
So I just want to
Terry?
show
Good
you
to see
guys. Just want to show you guys what I'm bringing to this event. My American flag overalls. It's gonna be so much fun. And I can't wait to head tomorrow. And I'm not going to tell you guys where, so don't try to ask me.
Or what, man? Oh, I still wish I could tell them what you're doing. It's really for the best. Nobody knows. But, oh my gosh. You guys are going to flip out. It's pretty wild.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. If I make it on the news this weekend, just remember that it's satire.
Yeah.
So I fully expect that this is going to cause a big scene, and I can't wait to. I really can't wait to do this. It's going to be fun.
I wouldn't do it. Oh man.
Yeah, this is guys. This is
I'm gonna have to come back so we can talk about it because like it's actually like it's twisted. Like I can feel my body contort and twisting and cringing just thinking about it. It's pretty wild. It's really wild.
This will surely be the most controversial thing I've done, but just know that it's for a good reason.
Yeah, it was for $50. For $50. Dude, it's true Groot. I blush easy too, so.
Where is it? Here it is. So have I ever applied for NSL? No, I haven't. But the funny thing about that is, this isn't exactly the same thing, but I got during my. Did you see the New York video? The New York Trump arraignment video?
Of yours? No, I only saw the Florida one.
Okay, you should everyone, you should go and watch that if you haven't seen it. It's the I posted it back in April. I think like April 10th or 11th, something like that. Basically I went in my American flag overalls and convinced people that I was a Trumpkin. And I just said the
I
dumbest.
did see that one.
Yeah, I just said the dumbest stuff all day. Like when people would ask me why I had a camera like pointing right at me, I would say that it was for my safety because I didn't want to be confronted with a new idea. And reporters just ate it hook, line, and sinker. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because during that day, Jordan Klepper of the Daily Show interviewed me. And in case you don't remember. He was the one who asked me what I thought about the jury system in New York and why I didn't like it, or what I didn't like about it, and I said everything. And Jordan Klepper asked me, "Well, do you care to expound on that?" And I'm like, "No, I don't answer the tough questions." And so, yeah, that was a fun video. So go check out my Trump arraignment video in New York and Miami if you haven't seen it. And just to recap, tomorrow I'm headed off somewhere. I can't tell you where. At 4 to 5 a.m. in the morning. It'll be a long drive, I can tell you that. So if you can guess, based on the fact that it'll be a long drive, then all power to you. But I can't tell you what I'm doing because I don't want to give anyone a heads up. But I can tell you that I will be bringing my American flag overalls because, hey, it's Independence Day. Why not celebrate America this weekend? And so that's exactly what I'll be doing. And we raised more than $630, and I appreciate all your support and love. Even if you couldn't donate, or even if you donated a small amount, everything helps, including your support. Thank you so much. And Lackluster, thank you for joining me in this conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was actually I didn't expect to hear from you, so I really appreciate you reaching out. It's always a pleasure.
Of course. I'll have you back on. We'll have to do a more focused talk about like police and police accountability and audits and stuff like that.
Yeah, after this next one, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then people will finally know what we're talking about here. So thank you so much, guys, for all your love and support. I'm gonna peace out now because I have to get up early tomorrow, and we will talk to you soon. Love you guys. Peace. Bye.